Hey everyone, welcome back again to the reactjs beginner course. So in this video we'll be exploring about the second hook that is called as a use effect hook. So if you find this interesting, let's get started right away. So let's understand about the use effect inside of a React application. So pretty much use effect can be defined as a way of performing side effects to the functional components that are present. So let's understand how exactly the use effect function works and when it is getting triggered. Okay. So pretty much we have three conditions for that. Okay. So first let us write the function, that is let's write the use effect, and then let's understand the three conditions that is really important. Okay. So let us import use effect from React. It's going to take a function. Okay. And over here we are going to write the code for that. Okay. Over here. So pretty much use effect is going to run every once the app component loads. Okay. And it is going to run every once the state updates and if there is no dependency array. Okay, so over here there is something called as a dependency array. If there is no dependency array, so every time the state updates, it's going to run again based on the code that is present inside of the use effect. Okay. And the second condition is that let's say we have the use effect, so it's let's say we have the dependency array and it is going to run every once the app component loads, and that's it. Okay. And the third condition is that let's say we have a dependency that is a number, so whenever the number value changes inside of the component, use effect is going to run based on that value. Okay. So that's it about the three conditions. So let's understand with the help of an example. Okay. So let's remove the dependency array and let's understand the first example. So inside the use effect, let me write the code. So let's initialize the set timeout over here. Okay. So we are going to say after every 1 second, that is 1000 milliseconds, we are going to increase the count value. So we are going to write set count and access the count value and increase it by +1. Okay. So now let's see what is happening. So if I save the file, so initially the value is 0. Okay, because it's inside of a state and the initial value is set to be 0. So now we are pretty much understanding about the first condition as I've told. So now if I save the file, let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, so as you can see, it's 1. It's increasing continuously, right? It's going to 4, 5 and 6, and it's just going to increase the value. But let's understand why that is happening. Okay. So over here, as I told you, use effect is going to run every once the app component loads. So initially this is triggered off, that is set timeout. So after 1 second, the count value is increased to 1. Okay. So over here, initially the value was 0 inside of the h2 tag, as you saw inside the web page. So after the value increased, this state is going to get updated. Okay. So the count value becomes 1 and you can see 1 on the web page. Okay. So as I told you, there is no dependency array over here. So use effect is going to run again because the state has been updated in this particular component. Okay. So again, when it runs, the set timeout is again triggered off, and then the set count is increased by 1 plus 1. That is the value of count was 1. So now it's going to be 2. Again, the state is updated over here. That is h2. That is from 1 to 2. Okay, so pretty much it keeps on updating, and again the use effect keeps on triggering. Okay, so that's the reason the value keeps on updating. That is it I think it's going to get till infinity, and it's not going to stop. So now let us understand about the second condition. Okay, let us just keep an empty dependency array and then save the file. Okay, over here let's refresh. So initially it's going to be 0. So after 1 second, it's going to be 1. Okay, it's going to run only one time because we have an empty dependency array. So use effect is going to run only once when the app component loads. Okay. So pretty much the set timeout is again triggered off, and the count was initially 0. So it's going to be 1. Okay. So we are accessing the value over here 1. So that's about the second condition. So let's say we have an input tag over here just beneath the h2. So let's write input and let's give a type. It's going to be number. Okay. So let's initialize another use state to get the value whatever the user is typing. Okay. So let's write number and then set number equals to use state of 0. So this is going to have an initial value of 0 as well. And over here inside the input, it's going to take the value. So value is going to be whatever is stored inside the state, that is the number, right? And it has something called as on change. So whenever the user changes the number inside the input tag, we are going to set to that value. So let's write e, and we're going to say set number to e dot the target and the value. Okay, so save the file. So pretty much let's understand about the third condition. As I told, if we include something inside of a dependency array, when that number changes, when that value changes, this is going to get triggered off. Okay, so initially we have nothing, so it's going to run once. That's about the second condition. So let's provide the value that is number. So whenever the number attribute changes, it's gonna run. Okay, so save the file. It's going to run once, so the value is going to be 1 now. It's going to be 2. Okay, so let's increase the value. Yeah, so again it's going to be 3 because this is going to change, right? Again change it. Yeah, it's going to be 4. If you even decrement it, it's going to again change to 5. So that's the way useEffect works, right? All right, so pretty much we have understood about all the 3 conditions inside of a useEffect and when it's going to get triggered and when it's going to run. So pretty much let's understand it again for the last time. So initially useEffect is going to run once when the app component loads, and it's going to run every once again if there is no dependency array and the state updates inside of that particular component, and again it's going to run every once the value changes inside of the dependency array if we have provided any value inside it. Okay, so I think that's it about the useEffect hook. Okay, and then that's it for this video. Let's see you in the next video, and then thank you for watching.